Hello and welcome back to the Wild Woohoo series. Hello and welcome back to the Wild, the very sunny Wild, and this is being brought to you from the beautiful Isle of Skye, which is in Scotland. So have a look at this. Ooh. It's also really good to be back doing a review about photography equipment because I have really missed it. I love talking about photography equipment, just photography in general. I'm so enthusiastic and passionate about it. It's something I do daily, and that's why I originally started doing these reviews, because it was to talk about my experience of my equipment that I use. I don't just pluck reviews out of the air. I do them because I've experienced using this equipment. And this is why I wanted to do this review, which is all about, here we go, the URTH circular polarizing lens filter. And I've not been disappointed with this, and this is the reason why I wanted to do a review and discussion about this filter. So let's get talking. Okay, so the first point I wanted to kick off with is about quality. Now, I am so chuffed with the quality you get out of this filter. And what do I mean by that? So what I mean is the lens that I purchased to have this filter on cost me around £800. Now, I spent £800 on good quality glass, and then going to put this little filter of glass in front of my good quality glass. The Fujifilm 23mm f/1.4 is now taken over my other lens, and it is my favorite lens. I've used it all the time. I've used it all over the Alps. I know what it's capable of. I know its quality. That's why I bought it. And I was worried if I stuck this filter on that, it will reduce that quality that I paid for, but it has not. It hasn't done that at all. It has been so good. The filter enhanced that, and I was so happy with that. And it actually made me go, ooh, when I first used it, which is always a good sign. But yeah, quality is great, clarity is great, sharpness is great. It's not reduced any of that. So well done, Earth. Okay, so my next point, linking on to my first one, is about tones, colors, contrast, vibrancy, saturation. All of these are elevated when you use this filter, or a filter in general, but from my experience using this filter, that has all been elevated and to such a lovely level. Like, you can get more depth from your images and from your scene, especially if you're shooting things like water or skies, which I'll talk more about in just a moment, because this is my next point. But there is an enhancement in everything. It lifts everything beautifully, and I've loved seeing this difference. I have noticed a huge difference in shooting skies, rainbows, water, like landscape. So if you're a lover of landscape photography, definitely use a polarizing filter. Like, I wish I've used one sooner, and it's annoying. Like, I kick myself because I went away to Iceland, and I wish I had one when I went to Iceland, because I now see the difference, and I'm like, darn it, I should have taken one with me. And I would give you an example of rainbows of what I mean, but when you twist it to the specific angle, the rainbows just pop, the colors pop more. And once you go into your editing, you'll see what I mean. They're just like there. You're like, whoa, like, it's so good. You can see the spectrums of light. It's so nice. And it's the same for clouds. Like, I love cloud photography, and I used to admire a lot of people online with their beautiful clouds. I'm like, how do they get such clarity in the clouds? Obviously, it's a polarizing filter, which I never realized. And you can get those really punchy, beautiful skies and clouds. And I love that, because I love the clouds, I love the sky, I love rainbows. I'll show you as well as you twist it around the difference it makes to your picture, and I'll also give you examples of with no filter and with a filter on and off, just to show you the difference of those. But I have loved it, I really have. It's been really good fun to use. Okay, so the next point I want to discuss is ease of use. It's got a little thread on it. It has 2 rings, as you can see. The bottom one there is a thread which goes onto your lens, directly onto your lens, and it has like a grippy edge so you can spin it around and tighten it up. So you tighten up nicely, and it's easy to tighten up, doesn't come off, which is great. And then the other one, the other ring, is where you twist it around, like so. And there's enough purchase there to get your fingers around and to move it around, which is really good. So this is my lens here. Oh, happy days. I spent a lot of money on this lens. It was like £800 or something like that. And that lens is now, the glass area is exposed. Whereas if you've got your filter and you chuck it on like so, it just protects it. It's like extra protection for your lens because they cost a fortune and you need to protect your assets. They are your assets, so protect them. So my next point is probably the main point because it's what attracted me to it in the first place, and that is value for money. And that's in comparison to what else is on the market as well. Like I've said already, I didn't spend a lot on this filter. It was like 30, 40 pounds, something like that. I bought the 2 of them for 66 pounds with postage, something like that anyway. Obviously, the bigger lens you have, the more expensive they go. It goes by size, the pricing. I'm not a professional photographer, so I don't need to spend a fortune on things, but I'd be interested to see what more you get with a professional pricing filter, because I found this one is fantastic. So I think value for money, Urth have done very good with this because you are getting quality, you are getting good glass, you're getting sharpness, all these extra things. I haven't found a reduction in the quality of my images because of using this. And I think because of that, the value for money is very good. So I'm very chuffed, very happy with value for money compared to what's on the market for what you're getting. So well done, Urth, with that. In terms of cons, when I first used this filter, I did find I unthreaded it by mistake. Now this is user error completely because I don't do it now. I was twisting the actual filter part the wrong way. I was going out counterclockwise when you should go clockwise. So it's just something to bear in mind. If you do get this, you might end up twisting it by mistake and dropping it. So just make sure you are twisting it and practice it a few times so you don't lose your filter, because that would be really annoying. Okay, so add to the cons. This one's quite an important one. It's very easy to do this, but you have to be careful not to eat your own hair, is one. No, not to over polarize your images. What do I mean by this? So if you've got the filter set the wrong way round, you can make the skies look too contrasted and your subjects or your landscape too contrasted. And it's very difficult to get rid of this in post-production, in editing, I should say. So just be careful of that because you can ruin a good image by over contrasting it. It's not so much specifically about this filter, just more about using filters in general. Just be careful not to over polarize. Yes. So in terms of usability, it's also to bear in mind they are a little bit of a faff to take on and off. If you've got to unscrew this, especially when you're outside in the elements, it's cold, it's raining, your hands are like, you know, cold and wet. It is a bit of a faff and a little bit finicky to get on and off. And so if you are going to be changing these, I mean, I leave mine on constantly. I have it on constantly. Probably shouldn't have sometimes, but I do because it's just easier. I don't want to take it off. But if you are someone who's going to be changing your filters quite regularly, then maybe look at a magnetic system where you can just easily snap them on and off. They do make a horrendous noise when you twist them. I don't know, maybe I was doing them wrong, but they are easier to use. They are more expensive though, so that's your trade-off. But if you're quite happy with just one filter, chucking it on there, then that one will be fine. But just bear in mind they are a bit faffy. That is the only thing if you're changing them regularly. Okay, so that is all my cons. It's more about the use of a filter rather than specifically aimed at Urth as a brand or their filters, because I've not found any cons yet. So far, the wear and tear has been fantastic, so I can't really comment on that, but I don't really have any cons. I think it's been great so far, just the stuff I've mentioned and to be aware of. Yeah, so I can't think of anything else. Eric, once you stop licking your butt. Hey, Eric, do you have anything you want to add about the filter? What do you think about it? Has it been good? Good boy. Okie dokie, so I've just got to conclude this now, guys. Conclusion time. So yes, overall, I am very, very happy with this cheeky little lens filter. I keep saying lens filter because I keep wanting to call it a lens and I forget it's a filter. So overall, I'm very happy with this filter. I think it's been fantastic, like really, really good. It's changed my photography. It's changed what I do in photography. It's elevated it, it's enhanced it. I've just seen improvements from using this and I've loved that. I really have loved that because I love learning in photography and challenging myself, and this has enabled that, especially with the skies, with water stuff, just all these new things and new elements to my photography that I've been able to add have been really, really good. I've really enjoyed that. I do want to try one of the filters for my telephoto lens. I'm really curious to see how it acts on other lenses because that was on my 23mm, which is good quality lens. So I want to see it on my other lenses as well, just to compare what it's like against other pieces of equipment anyway. But overall, yeah, thumbs up, very happy, can highly recommend it. And I think if you're into landscape photography, just use a polarizing filter in general and will change how you go about your photography. It has for me, it's changed so much. And it's elevated what I do and my experience and my learning in photography. And you know, for 40 quid or whatever it was, I can't complain. It's been really good. If you've got anything else you think you'd like to add that is done for you, let me know. I love hearing other people's experiences in photography. I love it when people take the time to tell me their photography journey or story. I think it's lovely to read, so do let me know. But yeah, I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. Let me know and I will happily answer. I always do. And yeah, until next time, stay you, stay awesome, stay wild, stay free. And until next time, you lovely people, goodbye for now. Bye-bye. Oh, hello there. I found crime scene. Bless it, it's been decapitated. Seaweed. I don't care. Watch me. Maybe not the wee. I did the wee last time. Come to the beach, they said. Look at seaweed, they said. Hey, where are you going? Don't leave me on my own. You've never seen me like this. Whee! And you tell I'm single. Okay, so the next point I wanted to discuss, before I fall over, there's so much seaweed. Look what I'm walking on. Oh, he says, oh, I don't know. What is that? It's a crab, woman. It's a crab.